Oh. Okay. So Mark goes through problems and he doesn't know how to solve them. He has this big problem with the bully and he doesn't know how to solve it. Throughout the story, he learns a few things how to solve it. He becomes friend with the bully. He's actually very nice to him. Well, he gets him a new bike, a hangout place. He gets him into jiu-jitsu. I can't believe it. It's crazy. So, I'm going to read a few pages of Way of the Warrior Kid Mark submission. How the kid is a bully, he calls him plate face. And all of a sudden, Mark decided to be friends with Nathan James. It's crazy how it started. And then throughout the story, it's very, very cool how they solved their problems. And they try and fix their problem throughout the story. They might still have some fighting going on. That's how friendship works. And it's just going to keep going and going and going and going until they solve their problem and the story ends and it's back on track. So, we gonna read this story. Thank you, Coach, I told him. Then we shook hands, and when we shook hands, it felt kind of different. Like when two adults shake hands, like a business deal. It felt great spending money to help someone else, Uncle Jake was right. I went over and told Uncle Jake that we had a deal. He got a big smile on his face, too. I went to the car and got my money, and then Uncle Jake gave me his money, and I gave it to Coach Adam. When we got in the car, Uncle Jake said, "First mission accomplished. Good job, Mark." "Thanks, Uncle Jake," I told him. Now we are on mission number 2. Mission number 2? What is that? Well, you wanted Nathan to be able to train in jiu-jitsu, but you also wanted him to get a bike. So we are going to get a bike. After a few minutes, we pulled off the road by a sign that said, "Junkyard." "Junkyard?" I asked. "We are going to look for a bike at the junkyard?" I asked. "We are going to look for a bike at the junkyard." Yes, we sure are. People waste all kinds of stuff all the time. They throw away things that would work fine with a little time and effort. We parked the car and got out. An older man wearing overalls walked over to us. "Good afternoon, folks. What you looking for?" "Good afternoon," said Uncle Jake. "We're looking for bikes." "Okay, then. Second path over there. To the right. Next to the appliances, just after the lawn furniture." "Thank you, sir," Uncle Jake said as we headed down the second path. We walked for a bit, and finally we passed all the lawn furniture. Then I saw a heap of old bikes. Some were almost completely destroyed, but some of them weren't too bad. Some of them were even in better shape than the Bruiser was when we started working on it. We climbed through and over the bikes, looking for one that was kind of a bike Nathan might like and wasn't in too horrible shape. As we were looking, our eyes both locked on one bike at the same time. It was a bluish color without too much rust, but the tires were flat. The handlebars were flipped upside down. It was missing one pedal. There were no grips on it, and overall, it just looked pretty rough, but not too rough. I looked at Uncle Jake, and he looked at me. We both smiled. It was the one.
That's a good place to stop right there.
And that's where I stopped.